Hi, Tziporah here. Today I'm talking with you about 3 areas where there are common behavioral patterns for people who have core shame, guilt, and anxiety. These emotions are often so difficult or painful to have that people will avoid addressing them, and then they turn these internal emotions onto the external environment, people, or situations. One area is control, whether this is overt or covert control, and this is to lessen the anxiety. For a person with underlying anxiety, the perception of having control over the environment or situations can bring a false sense of safety or security. This is often learned in childhood, where the child is constantly feeling unsafe and insecure, so the only thing to go off of is feeling like you have at least some sense of control. This can even keep someone in abusive situations because this attempt to control, paired with other maladaptive behaviors such as people pleasing, mind reading, and other preemptive behaviors, can cause less anxiety than actually cutting off contact with the abusive person altogether. Now, of course, that is very self-destructive, and the appropriate thing to do is to get other people involved for support and to cut off contact altogether. Now, when we're dealing with this anxiety and attempt to control, that makes this difficult. Mind reading is also learned in childhood, and it's to almost give like a false sense of security and to be one step ahead. However, this is a very unhealthy thing to carry on in life because we never know what someone is thinking, and it can be very detrimental in our relationships, for communication skills, and how we are in relationships altogether. Difficulty with plans changing. So this definitely puts a lot of pressure on ourselves and our relationships, and we never know exactly what's going to happen. People do not go according to any script or plan that's in our mind. So when this anxiety causes such a weight on plans, and if they change, it can really put pressure on those around us and ourselves in situations and kind of strip away the spontaneity or fun of life. Even the topic changing in conversations can set off this internal anxiety into something that is irritability and anger, and unable to engage in something when it's not going to what one thinks the conversation should go to. So this again puts pressure on relationships. Controlling a child's or partner's interactions with others. So this need to be involved or included in situations can be so severe that a person wants to control and limit the contact that one has with other people and to know everything that is going on. And without knowing everything that's going on, it can cause anxiety inside. Guilt and shame can manifest in many ways. People-pleasing is, of course, a major way that guilt and shame manifests. Hiding things. So this means hiding our mistakes, hiding our imperfections, hiding our wants or needs, and even hiding abusive situations. This is all ways that shame can be very detrimental to have inside of us. Projection of guilt and blame. Because these are so painful, often someone will project the guilt and blame, and it will go right on to someone else with blames, accusations, and jealousies, insecurities, and so on. Anger and irritability. These are manifestations of guilt and shame as well, because anger and irritability feel better than guilt and shame. It is easier to vent off these emotions. Self-worth issues. So perfectionism, not feeling good enough, even if you have smarts, talents, skills, so on, there's always a bar that you feel you can't reach. jealousy and insecurity, self-blame, and self-doubt. And as mentioned before, these self-worth issues can often be projected onto our partners. If you can relate to how any of these three emotions, shame, guilt, and anxiety, affect you and the situations you're in, please feel free to reach out, and we look forward to helping you and seeing you in the next video.